again, and I want to do something a little bit different. So today's video will be the first video of my new series called Night Shift Mom Diaries. Now you may be asking, why like Night Shift Mom Diaries? Well, there is a reason. There is a reason. I'm going to give you a little background on myself and working night shifts. I was going to be doing my makeup just while we talk. I don't have anywhere to go. But I'm just going to be putting on makeup. And if I put on makeup, I'm just going to shoot content after, like take some pictures for Instagram, maybe for TikTok, Snapchat, maybe for TikTok, Snapchat. But I'm not going anywhere. I'm putting on makeup because I feel like it today. So little disclaimer. Yesterday I did not work last night. I did not work a night shift last night. I had to actually go into the office because right now I'm in a hybrid model. So I work from home 90% of the time. Yesterday I had to go into the office. Yesterday I had to go into the office for some upscaling. It's all good. I like going into the office every now and then. It's no big deal. I am working from home 90% of the time though. So just remember that. So let's get into my mom diaries. Okay, so let me just give you a brief little history. So I've actually been working the night shift for about 12 years. 12 years on and off. Not 12 years, like, not 12 years straight nights. No, that's not what I'm doing. So I work in a hospital and I work in labor and delivery. I did work in labor and delivery as a unit clerk for 10 years. And the first 2 years working in the hospital, I worked in Emerge. And I also worked in other hospitals in Emerge or labor delivery. Okay, so that's number one. So in Emerge, you had to do all shifts. You had to be available for all shifts. Of course, if you are from the hospital setting, you know we swap shifts. Like, that's just the culture. We swap shifts once the schedule is posted, and we get to swap in. Okay, so I did that for 2 years, and then I worked in labor and delivery, where I did majority of nights. And we were privileged enough to be a self-scheduling group, not the unit, just group. And I was able to pick my shifts, so I did pick majority nights because that worked with my schedule. That worked with my husband's schedule. Then I had my first son, and nights just seemed to work because my husband worked really early. He worked 6 to 2. And I would sometimes work 3 to 11. But I was able to pick up my shifts around my husband's days off. So that worked well. And then filling in were like my dad when he was alive, and my mom, and my father-in-law, and my brother. So they would just pick up every now and then. Then I had my second son, and then I just went strictly, I think for 1 year I did evenings, like 3 to 11, which worked fine. And then I went back to school, came back, and then I found a position that would be working hybrid. So because we moved far away from like my job, pretty much 45 minutes, 45 minutes to 55 minute drive, I decided, and then I was done school, I saw a posting for a hybrid job as a scheduler. So I figured that would probably work a lot better than me driving, 45, 55 minutes to work. So I got the job, and then they were looking for someone to do predominantly nights because I think a lot of people are scared about nights. If you haven't done it before, especially in the admin part of it, once you work on a unit in a hospital, depending on the unit, but usually Emerge or labor delivery, NICU, like postpartum, emergency labor delivery, labor and delivery, maybe NICU, maybe, depending on the hospital, you are expected to work nights. My unit, I was able to just pick nights. I would do days here and there if I knew I had someone to watch the kids, but majority I did nights. So when I got this scheduling job and they were looking for somebody for predominantly nights, it was no big deal. And I went from working 12 hours to working 8 hours, which is fine. It's okay. So you're thinking probably working overnights from home is easy. No, it's still working nights. It doesn't matter what setting you're in, you're still up working. It's not like I'm up just staring at a computer. There's things to do. Okay? So I've been doing that straight nights. I would say 98% nights for 1 year. There is the odd time, like yesterday I worked 6 to 6, so I worked at day 12, that's what they call it. And the day before I worked at evening. But majority of the time it is nights. So I got a background. I think I'm a little bit seasoned when it comes to working night shifts. So I wanted to share that with maybe some of you moms out there that are working the night shift. And you have little ones, right? And you have a partner, right? And then there's other things you need to take care of at home. So we got to balance all of that, right? So I thought I would start a little series for my night shift mommies. And if this is you, if you're interested, please stick around. Because I have to get a nap before I start my shift, I don't do the bedtime routine anymore with my kids. I leave that for my husband. So you might feel, or sometimes I might feel, or maybe you might feel that you're missing out on, you know, that bonding, that mommy time. But that doesn't mean you're not a good mom. It's just that we have to make sacrifices, and it's not always going to be like this. So you might be missing out on bedtime, but that doesn't mean you're missing out on being a good mom. So of course, when I look at social media and I see all the moms doing drop-offs and pickups, now I still get to do that, but you know, tired, but I still get to do that. Or, you know, taking their kids out for various activities, and you know, sometimes I get a little mom guilt, but I'm over that now. So, but you can't help but feel like that sometimes, right? Slowly but surely, I've begun to realize I can't start comparing myself to other moms, and you know, I gotta start making memories, other memories with my children, right? So the times that I do have, there's little small things we do. Like the other day we went to one of the conservation areas around where I live, and we went for a little walk, looked at the trees, saw some beautiful waterfalls, and you know, that was a little moment, right? I'm not gonna be able to do all the other things that, you know, some other moms do because of my schedule, but that's okay, right? And what you need to learn is you're gonna do, and you're gonna work around your schedule, and you're gonna do what's best for you and your children and your family. So, but yes, is it hard? Have I been in that position where I'm like, oh, I wish I could do this, or I wish I didn't have to work nights, I wish I could have been able to do this? But it's natural. Do I stay in that place? Absolutely not, because my life is different. Everybody's life is different. And when you're on social media, people are only gonna show you what they wanna show you, right? So how I maximize my time is usually during the week, which is a little hard. My turnaround time is a little bit, you know, there's not much time to do a lot of things. So when I'm done on a Friday morning, what I like to do is plan something for that evening once I pick them up from school. Either we'll go out for pizza, or we'll they like to go to the mall. My kids like to go to the mall. Sometimes they like to go to the mall to have their favorite noodles. And my oldest son likes to go to that store that sells the electronic, like the gaming store. Not EB Games. Is it EB Games? That's closed down. There's a store that sells all the video games, and he looks at PS5s or 6, or I don't know. He just likes all that stuff. So, and then my youngest just loves anything that is a plushie, a gadget, anything that makes noise, anything he can ride on. That's what he likes. So sometimes we'll do that on Friday evening. So I've learned really to, I know my time may be limited, but I've learned to maximize the time that I have. And that's what you can do. Find something that you can do early morning on a Saturday, right? And then we have church on Sunday, and then in the afternoon I have a little bit of time to, you know, go for a walk, take them out for their favorite dessert. Depending on the weather, I know it's starting to get a little cold, but sometimes they like to go outside still on their scooters, you know, heavier jackets now, but they like to do that. And I just learned how to maneuver and maximize the time that I have. So you're gonna stop counting what you've missed, and number two, maximize the time that you do have. Stop worrying about the time that has been lost. Maximize the time that you have. Now, this is one that I struggle with all the time. Making peace with imperfection. Okay, listen, I just like to have a regimen. I like to have a schedule. And usually when I go for a nap, after I drop off the kids and wake up, I'm always thinking about what I could have done while I was sleeping. And now I'm behind. I'm always behind. I'm always behind. I'm always behind. But guess what? Last week that laundry had to pile up. Yeah, it did. It had, and I'm not a person that likes to do like 12 loads of laundry on the weekend, because I also feel that I'm wasting time. Learned to make peace with it. Motherhood was never meant to be perfectly polished. It was never meant to be like. It's messy, it's unpredictable, and sometimes, you know, I do feel, and I'm sure you do feel, like you're in survival mode. What I've learned to do is pray for balance and peace and grace. Okay, that's all we need, grace. My kids are not gonna remember that the house was dirty. They're gonna remember the memories that we made together. One thing that I know is I can't do this without God. My faith has a big thing to do with it as well, right? One thing I ask God for every day is the strength, because that's what I need. I need the strength to get through these days with these kids. I need them. We all do. And if there's a moment where I feel like, okay, you know what, maybe I'm starting to get a little irritated because certain things are not done, then I know what I like to do is I like to listen to some music, and that will calm me down, and then read a scripture, because it doesn't make sense to get riled up for something that is out of your control. I've learned that things around the house are going to get done. Maybe not at Tuesday at 12 o'clock. Maybe not at Wednesday at 3 o'clock. But it will get done. And it always gets done. It takes a lot to, I think working nights, it's a lot of time management. A lot of time management. A lot of balancing. A lot. Another thing that I like to do is, and I would encourage all moms, anybody working the night shift, anybody working shift work, because, you know, there are some people that work, you know, day, then a night, or classic line where, you know, 2 days on, 2 days off, 1 day on, 3, you know, whatever type of shift work you do, you learn very quickly to manage your time outside of work. It might take a while, but you learn to manage your time. So every other week, what I like to do is I like to go to Starbucks, especially on a Friday. There's something about when you know you've done your last night shift, you just get this adrenaline. Okay, I don't have to go to work tonight. So I try to get as much done as I can. So I might have like a 2-hour nap, and then that's it for me. So I like to go to my favorite Starbucks and watch a podcast, watch something on YouTube, drink my favorite drink, is it mango dragon fruit refresher? My favorite. With a little sandwich or a little dessert. Sit and chill. Relax. There's no kids running around asking you a million questions. No husband asking about something that he can't find that he put down somewhere. Just the sound of, you know, a little chitter chatter, the little, I don't know if Starbucks plays music. I've never really noticed that. But, you know, just enjoying a moment outside of the house. For me, it's great because I work inside. And just have a moment to yourself. So plan those days. It really helps. And then, you know, in a few hours, it's back to, you know, organized chaos. So if you're watching this after a long shift, or if you're getting ready to head out to start your shift, I want to remind you you're doing a good job. And I want to remind you you're doing better than you think you are. And I want to remind you you're not giving yourself enough grace. You're doing great. You're doing what you have to do for you. You're doing what you have to do for your family. And that's what it's all about. And I will be here continuing to share my stories and my experiences to help the rest of you. That's the goal, to try and help you get through some of these shifts, get through some of these post shifts, because, you know, post nights, you know that, you know that feeling, post nights. And maybe some of you are thinking about working night shifts because it's going to work out for your family. Maybe you're in a situation where that's the only shift you'll be able to work for a while. It might be short term, it might not be long term. And maybe for some of you out there, maybe you're thinking about making this long-term decision because it's going to be best for your family. My suggestion is just talk it over with your partner if you have one. If you don't, just map out how you think your life will be once you make the decision to work nights. It ain't for the weak. You will get used to it, but it ain't for the weak. But we do it because we have to. And right now, like, maybe there's a job that you want and they only offer night shifts and you need this job. There's so many reasons why people work nights, and there's so many reasons why people don't work nights, right? But at the end of the day, we're doing what's best for us. And if we have a family, we're doing what's best for us and our family. So we might miss the bedtimes. We might miss a couple games here and there. We might miss a couple of school presentations, school assemblies. But that doesn't mean we're not doing a good job. Okay? And I'm here to encourage you. If you thought you were doing a horrible job, you're not. You're doing a great job. So if you're choosing quality time today, if you're going to take some time out for yourself to date, even if it's an hour, comment present. Comment present down below. And I want to see how many people are taking time out for themselves today. And if this video encouraged you, please feel free to subscribe, leave me a comment. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section as well. Until next time, everyone, take care and God bless. Bye-bye.